helped pay for formula and baby food.
He actually went to my mom first and asked her for the money. Thanks, Mom.
He took what he could and gave back nothing.
Have you been paid back?
Negative.
All rise for Judge Joe Brown. Whoa! Experience, knowledge, and a passion for the truth.
I'm protecting womanhood and promoting manhood.
Bringing no-nonsense justice to Americans everywhere.
If you listen, you may learn something.
It's time for Judge Joe.
A man takes from his ex to hide from his dad. Geriatric nursing assistant Crystal Madden is suing her ex-boyfriend for a car payment. Defendant James Lorenzano says he supported his ex while they were together. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
The plaintiff, Miss Madden, is suing her former boyfriend, Mr. Lorenzano, for a sum of money. You say you loaned that to him so he could make his car payment.
Correct.
She further goes forth and says she also loaned him a sum of money to defend him against certain traffic violation citations. And the defendant contends that the money from the plaintiff was her idea and he didn't ask her to do it. He also says he didn't want or need an attorney and says that the plaintiff insisted on providing him money for attorney fees. You first. Where'd you meet him?
I met him from a friend. Actually, my friend tried to hook me up with his brother, and then his brother went to James and said, hey, I knew this girl. You might like her. So, and then that's how we started talking. We started dating the beginning of September.
All right, now, what brings us here today?
Well, Mr. Lorenzano had lost his job, and he was making payments to his father, $450 a month, and he was unable to make that payment. And he came to me, you know, oh, my dad's gonna kick me out if I don't make this payment. Can you please, you know, I'll pay you back as soon as I get a new job, you know, first check, you know, here you go. So, you know, I felt sorry for him, and, you know, I did meet his family and everything. They seemed very, very nice. You know, I definitely trusted him, and I did lend him the money, and he never, you know, I texted him, called him. He never said, hey, you know, gave me any type of money or anything.
By the way, on your next husband,
Yes.
the motive I felt sorry for him is not a good one to have.
I know, and I learned my lesson from that judge.
So tell me about the money.
Well, I loaned him the $450 and to make the payment to his father. And then he, like you said, he needed the money he needed an attorney for his other traffic violations. And he had gave me $280 cash and said, hey, can you go to Waldorf? This is where my attorney is. Can you please give him the money? And, you know, it was fine. I was fine with that, you know, trusted him. Went up there, gave him $280. They said, no, ma'am, it was $350. So I kept the cash and just swiped my card, the whole $350. Called him and said, you know, this isn't enough money. I did put in $70. And he said, okay, well, I'll pay you back, you know.
Have you been paid back?
Negative. He actually went to my mom first and asked her for the money. Thanks, Mom. And then he came to me because she
All
told
right,
him.
Mrs. Cunningham. Are you familiar with Mr. Lorenzano?
Yes, I am, Judge.
You've heard your daughter's testimony that he approached you for funds?
Yes, he did.
Did he, in fact, do so?
Yes, he did.
Pass your evidence up. Let me take a look at it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Montejano. Let's see what we have here. All right, this seems to match what I've been given. We'll go to the defendant. All right, young man, defend yourself.
Well, I didn't walk up to her mom and ask her for the money. I asked her if there was any work or anything like that that I could do to make some money while I was...
Yes, you do seem to have something you can do that would earn you considerable sums of money. Let's see, you purport to be an electrician, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Union man, or?
I was in the union for a while.
Okay.
And I asked if there was anything around the house I could do, or if she knew anybody that needed any kind of work done. And she didn't have anything at the time, so I was looking around, and I found a gentleman that needed a couple light fixtures put in. And I didn't need the money to pay my father off because the car was already paid off, so the car was not going to get repossessed. So
you were paying your father back, but that apparently is not the representation that you gave to the two ladies. Be candid with me. What was your real problem?
oh, that was it.
That's not your real problem. You wanted to keep Dad satisfied, but there was another reason, and that was because Dad was a bit perturbed with you. What was he perturbed with you about?
I mean,
whatever.
He was upset that I had lost my job, but
What else was he upset about?
I'm
You're
not
going to confess here today. Come clean.
I'm not sure what you're looking for, Judge.
Well, was your father entirely satisfied with your conduct?
Not fully.
No, he's not. He didn't appreciate something that happened November 5th of a year certain. Cause number 2000344463. Nor was he apparently pleased with something that occurred November 19th of a certain year. Nor of something that occurred September 24th. It's not so serious a set of things. It's just these set of things indicates collectively, is it immaturity or foolishness?
Are you talking about my driving record, sir?
No, not just your driving license. Driving or operating a motor vehicle while your privileges to do so were suspended. I haven't even touched on that. Just I'll say that instance, what you did to bring yourself to the attention of somebody that could stop you, discern that that was your status and charge you, as well as the rest of this. Now, why is it that you are not focusing? You got bags under your eyes. You're beginning to look like you're 40-something instead of just hitting 24. What's wrong?
Just been working a lot lately, sir.
No, you haven't been working a lot lately. You've been acting very foolish lately. What are you letting off? What's your frustration? Do you drink too much?
No, sir.
Well, maybe I don't want to know right now, but I think you need to start thinking about such things because after a point, you're going to do some things or have done some things that are going to get very much in the way of you becoming what you may otherwise want to be. I don't know if your daddy has that much money to continually get you out of your scrapes because obviously he doesn't. That's why the young lady is over here with her complaint. Now, all right, what do you have to say? Anything you might add? Because I think you need to talk to her.
Well, like I said, there was a period of time where we were together and she didn't have a job, and I helped pay for formula and baby food.
Well, she's 19 years old at the time, now 20. She's going through a divorce. What do 23-year-old young men do around and about 19 going on 20-year-old girlfriends? This is dumb and stupid what you've done to get all of these problems with the state. You know it. You feel very guilty, very bad about doing that. And when you have to do something, you know you should, you don't. Even if nobody else saw it, there's one important witness. It's you. You know you did it.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
So what's wrong with it?
Nothing.
So why didn't you do what your father taught you to do?
I just didn't feel like I owed her the money.
And later today,
No, this is why he put in the email. If I was on fire, he would not even to put the fire out.
He's mad at you.
So that's why.
I said if it wasn't for my
So
grandchildren.
why is he mad at me?
I said if it wasn't for my
Well,
grandchildren.
he's mad at
that
But why?
stipulation needs to be
I know.
important.
It's like, okay,
I stay spending
Diapers?
money on mine.
hold on
Get
a second.
real.
Hold on a
Got me
second.
twisted.
Hold on a second.
Have you twisted? I want
Hold
the money.
on a second.
it's Joe time after this.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says she paid her ex-boyfriend's car note so his father wouldn't blow a gasket because the vehicle was in his name. She says the defendant later asked for another loan and didn't pay the plaintiff either one. Let's take a look.
She said, you need to take care of this because your father is really important to you. You don't need to get yourself behind the 8 ball. You weren't raised that way. You need to look to that. That's old school. So what's wrong with it?
Nothing, no.
So why didn't you do what your father taught you to do?
I just didn't feel like I owed her the money.
You also should understand that you can always decline to accept an offer. So let's start this out by continuing what your father's been trying to do. You owe this young lady $520, and without equivocation, you will man up and you will take care of your obligation to her. You'll get your money. That'll be your award. What'd I say, $520?
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Courtroom is now in recess. The defendant was soft-spoken, but he did sort of admit to the judge that he hasn't impressed his father or the plaintiff for that matter. He's going to pay. Now, on to the next case.
Please raise your right hand.